Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a slightly tipsy Naked Truth. My name is Trisha Hirschberger, and before we jump into the Naked Truth on alcohol and my White Russian that's not really white anymore because I mixed it sufficiently, I want to go ahead and thank our Naked Army vloggers from last week. That's Kavaja, Nicholas, Darnell, Nathan, Cameron, Eric, Kenny, Carly, Christopher, Prescott, and Christian, Lawrence, John, Colin, Richard, and El Pollo. Thank you guys oh so much for making your own Naked Truth last week. If you guys want to check out their vlogs, you can do that via the descriptions in the link below. So on to this week, as you may or may not have guessed from my jubilant beverage that I'm holding, we are going to discuss the Naked Truth on alcohol, which was suggested by Alex C., who said, "What are your thoughts on the legal drinking age in the U.S.? Do you think it really protects young people from the dangers of alcohol by getting them to wait until a more responsible age to drink, or does it do more harm than good? Also, what are your favorite drinks?" So let me start off with the fun, fruity one. What are my favorite drinks? Currently, I'm drinking a White Russian because I tend to like desserty drinks. This is a coffee liqueur version of chocolate milk, kind of, I guess is the most simplistic way to describe a White Russian. Those mixologists out there will go, "Oh God, how did you just call it that?" But I like dessert beverages. I like Irish coffees. I like chocolate martinis. I also like drinks where you can taste the alcohol, but they taste good. So like a strong margarita or a cosmopolitan. I didn't get started drinking until I was much older, and my first drink was a whiskey sour. And so I've always really liked whiskey sours, and they're very good. But yeah, those are some of my favorite drinks. I'm not a beer girl. I love wine, but mostly because I feel like when I'm learning new facts about wine, I'm educating myself and bettering myself as a human being, and that makes me not feel so bad if I tend to drink too much wine and turn into an idiot. But now on to the more serious questions. How do you feel about the legal drinking age in the United States? I've always felt like this is such a tough one because it's always hard to put an age limit on anything and say, okay, on this birthday, that's when you're responsible, because people are so different and people mature at such a different rate. I mean, I know people who are in their 30s and 40s that aren't anywhere near responsible or mature. And I know people who are teenagers who seem like they have old souls and could definitely figure out the right path from the wrong path. So I feel like if we are going to give people the ability to choose whether or not they want to die for our country, if we're going to give people the ability to choose the next president, the next leader of the free world, if we're going to give people that responsibility, they should be able to have a beer or a glass of wine. And that's just my opinion. Obviously there is value in waiting until you're older, and there are plenty of statistics that show how many less alcohol-related car accidents there have been, raising the drinking age to 21, etc. But I do think that there's always that sense of, oh, I'm not allowed to do it, so it's more taboo. Like I said earlier, I did not start drinking until I was in college, and I believe I was just before legally 21. I was like in my second half of the 20th year when I started drinking in college, which was still much later than almost everybody else I knew. And I only started doing it because I saw other people that were professionals in my field drinking, and they were drinking responsibly and still held down jobs. And I was like, oh, well, I guess it's not this horrible taboo thing that I had always thought it was. And, you know, you always hear about in other countries where they don't make such a big deal out of drinking or nudity or any of the other things that America really makes a big deal out of. The culture there is not so obsessed with it. So in that way, maybe it does do more harm than good as far as people becoming obsessed with it. Like I knew when I first turned 21, anytime I went to a restaurant where I could order alcohol, I did, because I felt like I'd waited so long, and I was like, I've earned this. I've earned the right to order this frozen strawberry margarita with my dinner. And you know, once that novelty wore off, that stopped. But for a while, it was like, hey, shish, calm it down on the booze, because I felt like I had catching up to do. I don't know. Obviously, you do not want to give people drinks or give people the access to drinks way before they're ready, because when we're young, we all do impulsive things. So it's really a tough one, but I default to, like I said before, if you're old enough to die for your country, you should be old enough to have a glass of wine or a beer. That's just my opinion. Please feel free in the comments to tell me why I am incorrect on that. I know that some of you will, and I absolutely love you dearly for it. So Leave your own Naked Truth comments either in the comment section below. You can make your own Naked Truth vlog if you want and send it to me using the For Business Inquiries link in the About section of this channel. Or you can tweet me your thoughts, #Naked Truth. And I'm actually recording this the night before my birthday, hence the celebratory beverages. And yeah, that's it.